Initially terrifying. After like 10 minutes or so, really freeing. Absolutely great. You're not constantly wondering about what's going on. You can concentrate. It's absolutely great idea.
At Stones Barn, there's a policy of no devices and very much being in the moment with other people, not having the distraction of like phones and things buzzing and going off all the time and taking photos and videos. And that's, I think, one of the real strengths of Stones Barn, because it shows you the importance of being in the moment to your technical ability as a singer, but also just as a human being, like the opportunity to take time and space away. It's in a really beautiful part of Cumbria, like in the borderlands. So there's a lot of space. The word is kind of overused, but it's meditative.
Just knowing that you're going there for that period of 2-3 days, whatever it is, and there's going to be no phone reception. And even generally where I stay at the B&B, there's no phone reception. So it's like I manage occasionally to get a couple of texts through to my husband to say, I'm still alive, it's all right, I'm here. You can just, it's one part of your life, you just, right, I don't need that this weekend. Just forget about that. It's really refreshing actually to not have that in the back. And everyone's in the same boat, so no one's rushing away to make phone calls, or it's nice just to have that total time as a group without any kind of external things pushing in on it.
We're all slaves to a certain extent to our devices, and having the opportunity, people pay good money to go somewhere and not be allowed to, use devices. and you do feel more relaxed. I mean, I've been to a number of choirs where there's half a dozen MP3 recorders on the floor in the middle of the circle, or like all the time, and people running in, and it does kind of change the vibe and atmosphere of it. I do. And if it's being recorded by one person, which you guys do, that's enough, isn't it? And I do understand why you do it as well. You want people to be able to make mistakes, and you don't want them to be held responsible for those mistakes. And that's very important, that you can just feel free knowing that what happens in the room stays in the room.
The not having devices idea, I didn't feel uncomfortable with that at all, if I'm honest. Personally, I was really okay with that. And I think it makes you realise how much you use it and how reliant you are on it. And actually, what a breath of fresh air to not feel that you need to keep having your phone around or checking your phone or it being part of that. And actually, the fact that there was very little signal was kind of, it took that excuse out of your hands, really, because you're just like, well, that's okay, I can't use it, I've got to walk up the road if I want to call home, like in the evenings I would do that just to check in on the kids. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It just enhanced that whole feeling of being away from your usual world, your usual life, all that humdrum and hustle and bustle that you kind of get caught up in when you're in your world, in your life. I think I loved it. I embraced it. It was really good. Could do with doing it, once a month. Actually, if I could, I'd do that. It was amazing. Yeah, it's great.
It adds to your being able to concentrate on the people who are there and what you're doing and what you want to get out of it. And then when you get back, you really feel like you've had a real sort of escape from everyday life.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about it, actually.
No.
Because, and actually what it did do was meant, in the break times, people were interacting.
They weren't going off to make quick phone calls or check text or email.
And everyone was interacting, and there was so much more from that interaction. And we met some absolutely wonderful people
Yeah.
that, you would want, they're friends now for life.